அல்லட்டோனா மஸ்ஜிதில் தொழுது விட்டு வீடு திரும்பி கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். அங்கு எடுக்கப்பட்ட குத்பா மற்றும் தொழுகையின் வீடியோக்கள் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பப்படுகின்றன, பார்ப்பீர்களாக. பலஸ்தீனில் அவதிப்பட்டு கொண்டிருப்பவர்களுக்கும் இங்கு நிதி திரட்டப்பட்டது. என்ன சொல்ல வேண்டும்? இந்த உலகம் சூப்பர் பவர்ஸ் என்று சொல்லிக் கொள்ளுபவர்கள் கூட மௌனம் சாதிக்கிறார்கள். 22,000 பேர் ஷஹீதாகிவிட்டிருக்கிறார்கள் பலஸ்தீனில். இன்னும் போர் நின்றதா என்றால் இல்லை என்றுதான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். கொலை நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இஸ்ரேல் அட்டூழியம் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. அட்டூழியத்திற்கு எல்லையே இல்லை. போர் நிறுத்தப்பட வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லப்பட்டாலும் இஸ்ரேல் நிறுத்துவதற்கு தயாராக இல்லை. சூப்பர் பவர்களும் ஏனோ என்ன காரணமோ என்ன நிலையோ இஸ்ரேலுக்கு ஆதரவு கொடுத்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன, வெளிப்படையாக அல்லது மறைமுகமாக. அரேபிய உலகமோ முடிந்தவரை பொருளுதவி செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. லட்சக்கணக்கான டாலர்களும் பலஸ்தீனில் அவதிப்படுப்பவர்களுக்கு அனுப்பப்படுகின்றன. நம்முடைய நாடும் பலஸ்தீனியர்களுக்கு உதவி செய்திருக்கிறது. ஆரம்பத்தில் இருந்தே நம்முடைய நாட்டில் எடுக்கப்பட்ட முடிவு சிறந்த முடிவாகும். இதில் யாருக்கும் எந்த விதமான சந்தேகமும் இருக்க முடியாது. இதையெல்லாம் நீங்களும் அறிந்திருக்கிறீர்கள், நானும் அறிந்திருக்கிறேன். என்ன செய்வது? இந்த உலகம் ஒரு விசித்திர உலகமாக இருக்கிறது. யார் யாரோடு இருக்கிறார்கள் என்பது புரியவில்லை. நம்மை நாமே எப்படி பாதுகாத்துக் கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்பதும் நமக்கு தெரிவதில்லை. ஜங்கல் ராஜ் சில இடங்களில் இருக்கிறது. ஜங்கலில் என்ன இருக்கும்? காட்டில் என்ன இருக்கும்? மிருகங்கள் இருக்கும். அங்கு சென்றுவிட்டு பிறகு மிருகங்கள் நம்மை தாக்குகின்றன என்று சொன்னால் ஏதாவது அதில் அர்த்தம் இருக்கிறதா? இது போன்ற விஷயம்தான். இஸ்ரேல் ஒரு எதிரி நாடு. இஸ்ரேலிடம் எப்படி பழக வேண்டும் என்று ஹமாஸுக்கு தெரிந்திருக்க வேண்டும். தெரியாத காரணத்தினால்தான் இந்த அவல நிலைக்கு அங்கிருக்கும் சமுதாயம் தள்ளப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என்றுதான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். இறைவன் எல்லோருக்கும் உதவி செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லுவதற்கும் என் போன்றவர்களுக்கு தயக்கமாக தான் இருக்கிறது. எந்த விதமான உதவி? இறைவன் சொல்லுகிறான், எல்லா விஷயங்களிலும் உஷாராக இருங்கள். எதை செய்ய வேண்டும் அதை செய்யுங்கள், எதை செய்யக்கூடாது அதை செய்யாதீர்கள் என்று சொல்லும் போது கூட நாம் ஏதோ செய்துவிட்டு பிறகு ஐயோ ஐயோ இப்படி ஆகிவிட்டதே அப்படி ஆகிவிட்டதே என்று கதறினால் அது உருதுவிலே சொல்லுகிறார்களே சதாப சஹரா சாபி தோகா, அப்படிதான் இப்படி நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. மன்னிக்க வேண்டும், வேறு என்ன சொல்ல வேண்டும்? இப்போது நாம் வெள்ளிக்கிழமை தொழுகையை முடித்து கொண்டு வீடு திரும்பிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். இந்த சில விஷயங்களையும் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லிக்கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். பாருங்கள் வீடியோவை. நன்றி. அஸ்ஸலாமு அலைக்கும். நீங்கள் அனைவரும் நலமாக இருப்பீர்கள் என்று கருதுகிறேன். உடம்பை பாதுகாத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். இது முக்கியம், ரொம்ப அவசியம். நன்றி. அஸ்ஸலாமு அலைக்கும்.
ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا. Please straighten your lines. Straightening the lines is part of the salah. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Wa in tubdu ma fi anfusikum aw tukhfuhu yuhasibukum billah. فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا. أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت. فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر. إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. QR code that you can get more information. And also, the facility is here from helping hand is collecting funds for Gaza.
You don't have the card, do you?
Belly to because he had no food. People of Makkah had told him, just do not talk about this new religion. We will put a sun in your right hand and moon in your left hand. That means we will give the authority over Makkah and we will make you the king here. He refused that. Why am I still? Though he is the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing him. So this person realized that this is not maybe my bad, maybe some of my bad actions, or maybe some Allah did not like from me, and He's testing. And you have to be patient, as the scholar said, you have to be patient in your tests. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayah again and again, in different khutbah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Surely we will put you to trial by involving you in fear and hunger, and causing loss of property, life, and earnings. And give tidings to those who remain steadfast and have patience. So this is the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to imagine ourselves, all that earth is like a spaceship. And who is controlling the earth? The captainship of this earth is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has taken us onto this earth for some time. We are just like riders in a ship. And we have our own time. We are given some life here, we live on this face of the earth, then we go back to the ground, into the oblivion. Nobody knows, maybe you're one generation beyond you, or maybe two generations beyond you remembers you. And nobody even knew before when you were born. So it is Allah who gave us the authority to come and live in this world according to His plan. And He will move us from the earth whenever He decides to move us. Rasulullah said, never wish for death. But there is an incident in the Quran, Maryam alayhi salam, Allah quoted that in the Quran, that she was wishing for her death. We can relate that story of Maryam to this incident in our daily life where we see our du'as are not being accepted. What is happening to us? What did we do wrong? May Allah save us from doing some wrong things, but it is in the hands of Allah to put the blessings on us or take the blessings away from us. What did Nuh alayhi salam do? Nuh alayhi salam was teaching it the whole 950 years, the whole nation. They used to cover their faces when he's around. They used to tell him that you're a liar. They used to spit on him. They used to despise him. They used to make fun of him when he was making bold that, telling his own son that, oh son, come on, join me. There's a flood to be coming and it will drown everyone. And the son, what does the son reply? He said, no, I'm not going to stay with you. I'll go to the top of the mountain where I will be saved. What happened? Nuh alayhi salam taught, had been preaching to his people for 950 years. Don't you think he has not preached to his son? Don't you think he has not preached to his wife? Why they were rebellion against him? This is the test. Did he do anything wrong? No. Allah wants to test us. This place, this dunya, is a station of test. If you are being blessed by something, it is never from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not for our efforts, not for our du'as. It is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you are being punished for something, it is not, maybe may Allah save us, maybe not for our sins. It is the test from Allah. As long as we are steadfast, as long as we are patient and do whatever what Allah commanded us to do, we should be okay. And what did Yaqub al-Islam do? When Yusuf al-Islam was taken away from him, don't you think he has prayed for his 12 children? He was son of a prophet and son of a prophet, 3 generations of prophet. What happened? Did Allah did not listen to the dua of Yusuf al-Islam? No, dua has nothing to do with whatever happens to us. The captain of the ship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has the total control. When he asks us to disembark, we are gone. When he asks us to board, we are on board. When he gives, suppose you're taking a cruise and you don't have any control which seat you will get and which cabin you will get on the cruise. When you go there, you will realize, I have a good neighbor, I have a bad neighbor, I can do some business here, I can do some job here. So imagine this spaceship, which is the earth, is the same like the regular ship, to give some analogy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can move to any of these compartments on the ship. And we don't know what kind of neighbors we get. We don't know what kind of family we get. We don't know what kind of children we get. But we have to strive and do the right thing according to the guidance from the Quran. So what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam? He was put into the well by his own brothers. Don't you think Yaqub alayhi salam made dua for his own family, his own children, and one brother taking the other and putting him into the well? Why? This is Allah's qadr. Maybe if it's with that putting of Yusuf alayhi salam into some hardship, Allah had a different plan. Then he was taken out from the well by some merchants passing by. And they sold him as a slave. Don't you think Yusuf alayhi made some dua at that time? He was an innocent child. And everybody, any one of us who are in hardship, always reach out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens? Allah may answer, Allah may not answer. And Allah has a better plan for us. He has put us here on the earth, and He will remove us from the earth, and He has a plan for us. Every single individual among us, Allah has a plan for us. As long as we do good and we work according to His guidance, we have our destination as Jannah. If we lose our track, then we have our destination. He has described our destiny right here in this world, right here in the book of which we read every day. Our destiny is defined, but we have to struggle for it. It's nothing, like dua of Maryam alayhi salam made a risk brought to her table every day. Even the caretaker, his uncle Zachariah, was surprised. Where do you get this food from? This is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can bless anybody, anytime, at any age. So what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam after that? He was sold in the market as a child labor. What happened after that? He was brought to Egypt. And one of the royal families in Egypt, bought him. And he was accused. Again, another problem for Yusuf. He was accused for something wrong. Then he has to go to the jail. First he suffered the calamities from his own family, then from the merchants, then from being sold in the market. Now the host is blaming him, and he was put into the jail. What is the suffering by Yusuf alayhi salam? Who's going to be a prophet? Allah had a plan for him. What happened in the jail? He used to talk to his friends and describe about their dreams and all. In the jail, Yusuf alayhi salam used to do that. And incidentally, one of the inmates got freed up and he ended up working in the royal family, with the royal family. And the king sees a dream that there will be 7 years of famine, there will be 7 years of good crop, then 7 years of famine. What shall we do? He got worried. And he incidentally was talking to that inmate who said, I know someone in the jail who could describe your dreams and who may help you. So he was brought out of the jail. When the king heard his dream, about his dream, he said, you become one of our ministers. Allah had a plan for it. And by making Yusuf as a minister, Allah saved thousands of lives of Egypt, which was to come in the 7 years of famine after a good crop. He had a plan how to grow the crop, how to save it, and how it will benefit the community. Though he has gone through the hardship, Allah had a plan for Yusuf. Who would have imagined this child suffering from stages to stages, and end up being the minister and saving the huge community? This is the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has a plan for every one of us. Every one of us. Allah has a plan and a hope. The only thing we have is a choice. Allah has given us a choice to do the right thing, to do the wrong thing. If we do the wrong thing, we lose the track. And if we do the right thing, we know that Allah has shown our destination as well. If there is Jannah, there is Jahannam. It is your choice. Do whatever you want, but make sure that you are guided by my principles. If you lose the track and if you lose yourself, then you know the destination. And all the plan for our life in this dunya and the akhirah is in the hands of Allah. Innocent child Yusuf, he was tested from stages to stages because Allah had a plan to save 7 years and maybe thousands of people living in that kingdom of Egypt at that time. That was Allah's plan. Then what happened to Musa alayhi salam? Musa alayhi salam was an innocent child. Fir'aun was killing children in 1 year, letting go children in the other year. Harun alayhi salam was born in the year when he was let go. And Musa alayhi salam was born in the year where the children had to be killed by the Fir'aun's army. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded his mother to put Musa alayhi salam in a basket and let him go into the river. What is this test? She doesn't know if it is water which leak into the basket, if it is waterproof, and how she could he could say, well, let's just put him in the basket and let it go. That is the obedience. Allah had a plan for Musa alayhi salam. What happened? Before even his next meal time, he was brought into the palace. Before his next meal time, in a few hours, the basket went into the king's palace, from the river which was going through the palace, and then the queen liked the baby and she picked up the baby. Then she was looking for somebody to feed this baby. Then incidentally, Musa alayhi salam's sister was around and she said, I know someone who can feed this baby. He was returned back to the mother within a few hours. This was Allah's plan. What do you think has happened? Did Musa alayhi salam make dua? Did Musa's mother make dua? Everything in the world which is happening, we see a lot of children being killed now. Why is this happening? We don't know it's Allah's plan. We are trying our best to save it. We are trying to, do all the demonstrations all over the world and making dua. We do everything. It's happening. Why? It's mind-boggling. We don't know what's happening. Because Allah has a plan. Musa alayhi salam was brought back to his mother within a few hours. Before his next meal time, he was brought back to his mother. So, dua, we think dua is like asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dua is not asking. Dua is just a call. Talab is asking. There are two different words in Arabic. Dua is just a call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At least by making that call, we are making connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is what is needed. If we connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then maybe our dua will be accepted. If we do not make connection, then what do we know? Well, maybe we are lost. It is obligatory on us to make dua. Rasulullah used to make dua like this. He used to stretch his hand in the sky. He is the prophet, he knows himself that he is the prophet. But before Badr, he was making dua like this. Oh Allah, if we fail this day, there won't be anybody on the face of the earth to save your religion. Allah has a plan. Do we make that dua? Do we make the dua in the night time? It is very important. Make that connection. Dua is not that you are asking for Allah. Dua is that connection. Like we say dawah. Dawah is what? We have to remind it. Dua is like you are connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, help me, come and help me. So dua is that you are connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not talab. Talab means demand. I need it now. Things may not happen. You make dua for some job, you may not get the job. You make dua for some house, you may not get the house. You make dua for some health, you may not get the health back. It is in the hands of Allah. Has destined for you the life. We try our best. It's not that we ignore and we do bad things. We have to try our best. Then leave the destiny in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make dua every day. He is inviting us to pray 5 times a day. If we do not do any extra prayer, there are 5 obligatory prayers which we cannot miss. We have to have these 5 prayers on time. We have to put our work schedule around our salah. That has to be given the top priority. That has to be in time. The salah has to be in time. In that, what is that ayah? Inna salat kanat ala mu'minina kitabam mawquta. It has been written for you on that time. You cannot just take, I will pray all 5 salawat in the evening. It is very important. Everything has to revolve around our salah. And after salah, you definitely connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In salah, during your salah, during your sujood, during your ruku, you can connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That connection is dua. And prophets made dua. And prophets were tested. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua. He was tested. Musa alayhi salam's mother made dua. She was tested. Yaqub alayhi salam, she cried so much that he lost his sight for Yusuf alayhi salam. Allah brought Yusuf alayhi salam back to him. This Allah's plan is different. We think that if we get it now, but Allah knows what time is good for us, that you will be entitled to something. It's not our choice, it's Allah's choice. He is the captain of the ship. He is the captain of the whole universe. He decides about our destiny. He has planned our destiny. He knows everything. What even which will be about a person who will be the last person to be born on the face of the earth before Qiyamah. He knows it very well, and he knows how he will be born and where he will die. So it's like this in dua of the incident of Maryam alayhi salam. This is Maryam alayhi salam's mother, calling about these things. Let me translate these ayahs which I read just now. Angels came. He also heard when the women of Imran said, "O Lord, behold, unto you I do vow that the child in my womb is to be devoted to your exclusive service. Accept it. Then from me, surely you alone are all hearing and all knowing." But when she gave birth to a female child, she said, "Oh Lord, I gave birth to a female child." She was making dua that she would get a male child. But Allah knows very well what she is going to be given. And she was given a girl. Allah knew full well of what she had given birth to. And a female is not same as male. I have named her Mary and commit her and her offspring to you for protection from shaitan and be accursed. This is what Allah replied to Maryam alayhi salam. Thereupon her Lord graciously accepted Mary and vouchsafed to her a good growth and placed her in the care of Zachariah. Zachariah took him as a caretaker. She was Zachariah's sister-in-law's daughter, Maryam. She took her because she was a girl. He took kafala. Means she was under her care. Whenever Zachariah visited her in the sanctuary, she was provided with food. He asked, "Oh Maryam, how did this come to you?" She said, "It is from Allah. Allah provides sustenance for whom He wills beyond reckoning." This was the dua of Maryam alayhi salam. She was a teenager at that time. But she made dua and food was being given. What happens after that? The angel told him that you will bear a child. That was a surprise to her. She said, no man ever touched me. How do you think I will have a child? Then the angel said, this is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not what you wish and why wish. I'm just giving you the news. Then what she said, would I have been dead before this news have come to me? Because she was being respected. She was being, Zachariah was like an imam of the masjid. And when Maryam was with him, when Zachariah described that she used to get food from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she had well respect in the community. She had a lot of respect in the community. And now the angel is giving the tragic news that you will have a baby. What does she do? This is the only incident in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, never wish for. Let me read that ayah, give me 1 second. قال أن يكون لغلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أكن بغيا قال كذلك قال ربك على حي لنجلها آية للناس ورحمة منا وكان أمرا مقضيا فحملته فأنبتت به مكانا قصيا فجاءه المخاز إلى جذع نخلة قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا. This is the only incident where she is wishing for death. Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asks us not to wish for death, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an example how she wished for death. Nasya mansiya. Nasya means would have been forgotten, gone into oblivion. That means I would not have existed to see this day. What is a disgrace? The people who respect me in the society, and now I would be blamed that I would have a child and I would have my dog. Imagine, a Muslim lady, if that happens to her, she doesn't even want to think about it. And this is the niece of a prophet living in the masjid, and she was given this news. She said, I wish I would not have lived to this day, or nobody would have known to me, I would have gone into oblivion before this thing happens to me. And mansiya means forgotten. That means like going out of the memory. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, nobody knew you before you were created, and nobody knows us maybe 2-3 generations after we are gone. She was making dua for that status. She was making dua at one point where whatever she was missing, she was getting. The fruits are out of season, the fruit are out of place. Zakaria was surprised that where did you get this fruit from? It's not even growing in this area of the land. And this doesn't even grow in this season, but she was getting it because her dua was accepted. And that acceptance was with the husband. It's not in our control. So we have to make sure that whatever dua we are making, it's not that, okay, I made the dua, I should get it. It is not like a wage, who I have worked for so many hours, now I should get my return. Rasulullah said, sometimes on the day of judgment, you will be given so much, you would not accept. Then the Sahaba asked Rasulullah how this would be. Allah will say, this is the dua which was not accepted in the dunya, now I am giving in returns to you. And what the person would say, oh Allah, why did we accept that dua for that little house, little car, little job? This is so much better and forever. I wish you would not have accepted all those du'as. That's the extreme case. Even if your du'as are not accepted here in this dunya, make that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will get that on the day of judgment. Barakallahu